Danielle makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30.
Welcome to the Fins tailgate. It's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. We live that aqua and orange from the field to the mic. Breaking down the plays, man, we talk it every night. From Tua to the defense, you know we keep it tight. NFL moves, you know we got the insight. We open up the floor, yeah, it's your time to shine. Fans drop the heat with opinions realigned. You got concerns, bring them, we're gonna chime. The Fins tailgate's where we keep it prime. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. The NFL's changing, but we stay on the grind. Latest breaking stories, we don't waste no time. From the trades to the rumors, we make them all align. At the Fins tailgate, we always on the climb. We're repping the Dolphins, but it's NFL wide. From South Beach to the league, we keep it worldwide. Got the fans engaged with the energy supplied. Come kick it at the tailgate, we're riding high tide. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. So if you love the game, you know we got the gate. Tune in, speak out, don't wait, it's your fate. This is the Fins tailgate, now watch us dominate. Miami Dolphins, NFL, yeah, we integrate.
The box score doesn't do it justice. Right. Only we know how we felt and how we chose to attack the mission at hand. Okay, I'm gonna start with a couple of players deserving of game balls. Rookies no more. Theo Weiss. Quinn Ewers, 2 times no catch. Jay Marsh, 5 tackles, interception, PBU 3. Big with a field goal block. Bradley Chubb, 2 sacks and a forced fumble. Bradley Chubb.
Good work today, fellas. That's how we put our identity on the damn field, man. All week we worked it. All week we talked about it, and that's how you go out there and execute. Yep. Now next week we're gonna finish this strong, dog. Hey, family on 3, 1, 2, 3. Family.
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
What is happening, Dolphin fans, and welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate with your host, El Capitan. Tonight on the tailgate party that never seems to stop, we got plenty to talk about. We got plenty of things to discuss. Dolphins get the dub at the end. Final game of the season. Ewers shows out. Dolphins controlled the game. I mean, after that first drive, and then by Tampa, they really moved the ball well, but the defense came up big turnovers. And the young rookie looked poised. He looked loose out there. He had some hung in the pocket, stood tall, slung the rock. It's it isn't like exploding with statistics, but there is some, and we're going to get into some of that stuff. On your way in, guys, make sure you're hitting the like button. Shout out everybody in here. Nightmare in here. What's good, Nightmare? Hit the like button. John Featherland coming through, making sure everybody's getting those likes. Linda, hey, Linda, hit the like button. Ghost, what's going on? The Ghost 100 says we got some young talent that we could continue to develop. I agree. Mary Gilmore, see Off Duty's Black Ops team. All right. Hit the like button. What up, Grump? What's going on, buddy? Thank you. Yeah, it's a band. Appreciate you, Dow. It's a band, family band. Two ears have disappeared, and we're going to talk about that too. I got a little sussing for the two sexuals, for the two and on. Got something. Well, you know what? They're still out here in them streets, but they've changed their tone. They've they pivoted a couple months ago. That first quarter of the season was rough this season. Although, hey, how's it going? Hit the like button. Hit the like button. What's up, Mr. Paul? Salute. Thank you. All right, so let's get into it. Got quite a bit of things to discuss here. So let's go ahead and, get right into it. Is Quinn Ewers the future of Miami? Is he the future? I mean, interesting on that, because you gotta think about what is the Dolphins' future look like, even if there was no Ewers. I would say the team has collectively at this point, shout out to the collective, pretty much said they're off Tua. We're going to talk more about that later. I'm going to put a little pin in that, but that they're off of Tua. They're over it. Yes, Bangladesh, I see you. Salute. Watching from Bangs. Watching from Bang Bang Town. Word up. Hell yeah. Hit the like button. The Dolphins' future is in turmoil. We've got general management questions. There's still some questions on the coach. There's still some questions, especially heading into their home closer. It's so important for the fan base, the locals, the people in Miami. This, most importantly, the people who buy the tickets. Because I don't know if you know this or not, stadium's been empty the last couple of games, even with Tua. And energy has been good by all reportings. And people are, pissed off. Listen, season ticket, it's business too, people. Don't forget. You buy season tickets, and the whole hope is that you buy these tickets, and then you pick the games you want to go to, and you sell the other tickets within a certain amount, or get someone else to go to some of those games, and you kind of go to free football games. That's kind of the you can say what you want. People have been doing it forever. Okay. And a lot of these diehard fans, they are diehard Dolphin fans. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean to throw the quotes up on them like that, but it comes down to how much this team can financially make it feasible to be a fan of this team, to go to football games. And so when the season is kaputzed and it is on the down, and you can't give the tickets away, how many tickets? First of all, I know a lot of people who go to the games. I lived in Florida my whole life. I still live in Florida. I got people from North Florida to the Panhandle to the West Coast to everywhere that are friends of mine, family of mine, that have season tickets, are, ticket holders, and always have an extra one here and there and stuff like that. Sometimes I got to purchase that extra one. Sometimes I get it for free. Sometimes I purchase them and, hook people up as well. This is the family of Miami Dolphins land. My point is that when you are being called up by a cousin who's up in South Dakota because he's got friends in South Florida that's got 4 tickets for $200 for the last game of the year, that's not good business. That's not, I don't give a shit where the tickets are at. 4 tickets for $200, giving them away. And I could have got them for nothing, I bet you. Again, my point is that the future of Miami will only look good if the money makes sense. So when we ask the question, Is Quinn Ewers the future of Miami? You also have to wonder, what is their plan, right? Are they planning to draft a quarterback right now? Well, I would say no. If that was the case, they would have probably not won this game. Probably wouldn't have been trying to win the games. They went from, I think, potentially 7th to 13th right now. And if we somehow pull out the miracle in the finale on the road against the Patriots, who are trying to be the number 1 overall seed right now, what a fucking sad state of affairs it is for you Dolphin fans, myself included. Got to watch the Patriots go from goats to fucking right back to prominence in a 5-year switcheroony. Pissing me off talking about it. But if you're asking if Quinn Ewers is the future of Miami, you got to really ask what's going on with the organization. By all accounts, they're not drafting any quarterback. They're off of Tua. Quinn Ewers is the future, at least for next year. Now that'll all depend on what he can do to stop the Dolphins from drafting his replacement. That's a fact. He goes out there and he's playing He-Man ball and doing everything himself. Not everything, obviously, but literally buying time, shrugging guys off. There's intangibles to a quarterback position when you watch them play that you go, oh man, I need. And I think from what I can see in Ewers thus far is he possesses the type of arm strength that I know we've been lacking here in Miami. Lacking hard, son. We're talking that sidearm, get around a rusher and throw a 25-yard laser beam. I'm not asking for much, but I needed at least that. Tua had to wind and switch and throw. It was just painful. Anytime anything needed to go far downfield, that thing had to hit a certain arc. He had to crank into it, and that's fine. Quarterbacks can live like that. Tua didn't possess the mobility of a smaller quarterback, smaller armed quarterback to get outside to buy that time for the windup to pitch it downfield. And he never looked for him either. That's another thing about Tua that really infuriated me. But I know this is what offensive coordinators and offensive-minded guys like, is that Tua would take easy money always. And people thought, oh, it was Tua being smart. It was it was being smart with the ball. No, I called it scared football. I call it scared football. You gotta take shots in this league, man. You gotta put on. And Tua rarely, unless the game was lost, unless he forced it down there. And then, it's easy to force it down there when you have absolute faith in a weapon that's going to get beyond all the defenders and Tyreek Hill, right? But kind of just saying, I'm going to put it in a spot to give my guy a chance downfield. Quinn Ewers looks like he just straight always looking downfield. He's like, fuck that. Wait, open up on that second part. Flip. That's what it looked like to me. Now, we're going to see some other stuff. Now, remaining poise, having the arm strength, looking to throw daggers. Looks like he's got it. Next year, because he's going to be here. Next year, I want to see, can he possess some of these other traits that I find to be really valuable? Toughness in the pocket. I seen him, and he's smart too, because he drops much further back and gives himself a lot of room. We've seen him run a little bit. Okay. I'm not asking for a quarterback to run. But if you are trying to push the ball downfield in the end of the second quarter, at the end of the fourth quarter, and you're trying to push the ball downfield and they're going to play soft cushion and bring 3 or 4 and give you the yards to run, I got to see you take it. Because you got to bring the linebackers up so that underneath is there. So then the safety gets off point. Then you could go over the top of them. Pretty simple. But I need to also see some types of things for him to be the future, I need to see that, you know, hardcore defenses. And listen, we very, very well may get it this coming Sunday. This Patriots team, that defense, get after it. I mean, bro. Drake May looks fucking incredible. Their offense has stability, but Drake May's doing it all. Like, let's be real. And that defense is, it's money right now. Doing great. So I gotta see, and we might find the answer. But I'm talking taking the licking and keeping on ticking. And now I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, I look intently for what that means, and I'll give you, for instance, right? Like Josh Allen. I don't think anyone could measure and say that he was. Everyone would agree toughness is Josh Allen has toughness. But I also seen Josh Allen play hero ball, run, sling the rock, run, trying to rush down to the end, get within 30 yards, and run up the gut. He took licks the whole friggin' drive, then gets up, tries to quick snap and throw, and that arm got just a hitch in it, and it goes sailing, and it's intercepted. There's got to be some smartness to the toughness as well. And I need to see what weaponry, what type of fortitude, and what type of response do we have in Quinn Ewers? That's something to build on. Because I look at the offense right now, and yeah, the run schemes are pretty nice. There's a little bit of motion and stuff like that, but it is not the well-oiled multifaceted, layered offense that McDaniel really used to install. And to me, I don't want to see that right away. I want to see more from the individual quarterback position. And then once I have a understanding of the measure of his weaponry that he possesses, his limitations, then I want to see if he can then adapt to Mike McDaniel's multi-schemed offense that he uses. And if he can put together a playbook, which I believe Mike McDaniel could put together a playbook for any quarterback he possesses, given enough time. I think that's probably by and large with a lot of the offensive coordinators and offensive-minded coaches. These guys are at the top of their game. Say what you want, but they're at the top of their game. And excuse me a minute. Hit the like button, everybody, please. That's what's I'm going to look for. I think we're going to get all to see it. And I think if Mike McDaniel's smart, he's going to run a lot of quarterback, I don't want to say non-friendly offense next year with him, but quarterback needs to do the other shit. He needs to have a play, know what the check is at the line, call out the mic, make checks, and run an offense and see what it looks like in matchup and what he does and how he responds. Then start installing the more complexities of it. Because what I don't want to see Mike McDaniel do is throw this massive playbook and all these weird calls and all this shit. And Quinn Ewers is out there. There's formation penalties. There's, alignment penalties, false starts, fucking delay of games. I ain't interested in seeing that. Keep it simple, stupid, and let's build on that gradually and see what this kid's got, and then see if he can grasp more. And if he performs, I don't care what the record is. Dolphins have, a top 10 pick. Now, somebody comes along at quarterback that kind of puts you where you want to be, and you look at him and you measure up with what you got in Ewers and what this guy possesses can be better, then you make the decision, but you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. And flexibility, for whatever reason you want to say, it's the only way, because you need adaptability in this league, and flexibility is where that begins. So, I will give you a little tidbit about Quinn Ewers. That was an interesting little stat that he's the first rookie to have 2 touchdowns in the first half of a football game their rookie year. First guy to do it since Dan the Man Marino. So, for all the stat heads, for all the PFF grades, for all the friggin' dorks and nerds out there that want to offer up weird, obscure stats to prove this guy's this or this guy's not that, well, here you go. Quinn Ewers, 2 touchdowns in a first half, first time as a rookie since Dan Marino. So you're welcome, everybody. So, a little bit more on Quinn Ewers being the future in Miami is we got a little post game from Mike McDaniel. Let me pull this up for you guys and listen in. This is Mike McDaniel on what he looks like, what he looks for in a quarterback.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, when you draft a quarterback, you're thinking in terms of, does he have the you just want to open, and you don't want a ceiling. You want open-ended. All right, does he have the things that you need to be a starting quarterback in the National Football League, and you're hoping that develops anytime you draft any quarterback. I would say philosophically, it's obviously not an easy position. So you're taking into consideration all athletic skill sets, as well as if the guy's going to be able to handle the heat, because it is a hot, there's a lot of heat on that position. And then you're just open-minded to me that you realistically, you can't have enough quarterbacks, and there's a lot of different ways to find a franchise quarterback. One of the ways is playing football games and seeing what a guy can do. And I think we have another game next week, right? And then that in that next week, I would give another opportunity to Quinn. He'll start, and then you kind of get into the broad scope of evaluating options and looking at every year, because as we've learned, you can't have one quarterback on the roster, so not even 2. You need a group. So we'll that's kind of each off season. It's such an important position that you don't just skirt it. So I think that all actions are pretty much the same in that way, because it's an important position that if you aren't, if you don't feel great about that position, the team isn't as well. And all NFL players know what that looks like.
Ooh, sound like some shots taken in that one. Only a couple shots taken at Tua there. I mean, it's when you don't feel, as we've learned, you can't have just one guy or 2 guys to depend on. It's a multitude of guys at the quarterback position. Sounds like the Dolphins front office, Mike McDaniel, most importantly, learning that hitching my wagon to a quarterback is a deadly game. Deadly game. In that you need to remain a consistent energy and expectation with everybody. I mean, if anything, more so at the quarterback position. Because, I mean, listen, dude, they cost the money. They control the game. They can make you look good, they can make you look right, or they can make you look like an idiot real quick, as Mike McDaniel has learned. Tua made himself look like an idiot at the podium all year this year. That's what saved. You want to know who saved Mike McDaniel? Tua. Like putting his foot in his mouth about 8 times this year while we were losing. So much so that they done got rid of his ass. Said, "Listen, boy, just shut up. You're making us sound like idiots now. This is how you've been talking behind closed doors. Now you're saying it out here, and everybody looking like an idiot." Here's also what McDaniel had to say on Quinn Ewers.
Quinn's very authentic, and I think in positions of leadership, it's very important. And you're inherently a leader when you're a quarterback. And so he's passionate about football. Is don't let the Texas twang in his speech fool you. This dude he's very, very, very smart, very on it, and he's very comfortable when he's playing the position. You can see that. He sees the field. He's aggressive, and he's not scared. So he goes out and competes. And
I got to stop him right there. Again, Mike McDaniel saying that Mike McDaniel just calling it like it is right now. Don't let the Texas twang fool you. Kid's smart. He's tough. He ain't scared out there. And again, it looked night and day from the quarterback position watching Tua, because Tua's like a little it's almost like Tua's was one of those. Remember when you used to get the football game and there were the magnets and everything, all the little dudes would shake and stuff like that's Tua running, like he's the guy just circling, going around in circles. Like he just looked so happy feet Tua all the time. So happy feet Tua. And he looked scared. And I think Mike McDaniel's saying it. I mean, listen to what he said here.
Passionate about football, is don't let the Texas twang in his speech fool you. This dude he's very, very, very smart, very on it, and he's very comfortable when he's playing the position. You can see that. He sees the field. He's aggressive,
tall,
and he's not scared. So
he's scared.
He goes out and competes, and I think it's more of who he is, that is a big part of who he is he's a football player, and so that personality in the locker room is the same as it is on the field.
I mean, Mike McDaniel must feel elated to not have to carry around baby powder and baby wipes and a box of tissues and cover up every mirror in the entire facility now that Tua's no longer at the helm. Mike McDaniel's got to feel like, wow, I know that that's a new age football, and we're surrounded by this Gen Z fucking pansies. You can't talk to people that way type of thing. And he can thrive in that atmosphere. Let's call it for what it is. But what a freaking relief to actually now be dealing with somebody who's a Southern boy, Texan. He's out here. He don't give a fuck. He wants to. He got a job to do. It ain't none of this boo-hoo, whammy mammy crap. Ain't scared, looks tough, looks comfortable out there. God, does he look comfortable? He's kind of just chilling. It's like, yeah, can see. And you could tell just by he would drop back an extra 2 yards deeper than Tua, it seemed like every freaking drop back. He on a play fake, he would lean it out real, and he'd go real wide on his ankle and turn around. He had fucking a mile. You could see he's just standing up like a fucking telephone post. And it's sad because I mean, look, is Quinn Ewers fucking the next Tom Brady or Brock Purdy or anything like that? I don't know. But it's sad to see what Tua was behind the line of scrimmage versus a 7th round rookie behind the line of scrimmage. Now, granted, that could change. There could be some processing things. I don't think so. But this was the type of stuff that even back when they had Skylar Thompson back on the team, and Skylar, yeah, he lacked a lot of things, but he didn't look like a fucking scared little bitch behind the pocket, dude. He didn't. And he looked like he could fucking put a cannon. He did. Now, I think Quinn Ewers got way better spin on that football. Like Skylar Thompson arming a lot of football. Quinn Ewers got that spin. That thing does that like English. It's just that, you know what I'm saying? He could spin that rock. But, it's just, I don't know, man. Shout out to Theo Weiss, who, rookie to rookie connection on TDs, first passing touchdown and first receiving touchdown. Shout out to Theo Weiss. Here, he had a couple things to say in the post game here. Listen in.
Just how calm and poised he is. Like, I was telling somebody the other day, he's like the swaggiest on the field, like just how he carries himself, and it just brings more confidence to the offense. You know what I mean?
He's a calming factor, Theo Weiss stating about Quinn Ewers. It's a swag about him. And it's calming in the sense that it's not, okay, guys, here we are. We got to break. And he's like, hey, all right, we're going to run this. All right, let's go. I mean, ice water in his veins, according to his peers, right? According to his peers. Listen to what else Theo Weiss had to say on Quinn Ewers.
We definitely get a lot of work in after practice and, just in the meeting rooms too. But I think getting that connection kind of started in the preseason, I think it helped a little bit.
Theo Weiss and it's funny because on their first game and they brought Theo Weiss up, I put Theo Weiss on an anytime touchdown, and I forgot this week, bro. I forgot. Oh, well. Hit the like button, everybody. A couple of other guys had some things to say on Quinn Ewers. Greg Dulcich had he had to say, and this is behind from the reporters and stuff like that in the locker room. The dude could sling it for sure. Greg Dulcich say. Devon Achane had this to say: he can stay in the pocket, take a hit, and that's something you like. He also is great with throwing when he's got a defender in his face. Two things Devon Achane pointing out that are both things we all know Tua couldn't do. Tua couldn't and wouldn't stay in the pocket with a defender in his face. And he certainly ain't taking hits. In fact, it was what they preached for 3 years with Tua about what he needs to get better at. Not taking the hits, not playing here about getting rid of it and living to fight another down. That was the mantra for 3 years with Tua, is that he's going to get better by addition, by subtraction, by not taking the hits, by being a fucking badass and standing tall in the pocket, by not staring down a defender's face and still getting it off. This is what has changed. Now, again, Ewers could go to sleep. I don't know. But this is what they're saying. So I'm going to respond to it as such. Hit the like button, everybody. So, again, Theo Weiss, 63-yard touchdown. Quinn Ewers doing his thing with 2 passing touchdowns. But there was some other guys. Jason Marshall flew all over the place, got his first interception. Shout out to the Florida boy. And Zeke Biggers looked like he was in on every tackle and got the block punt. So rookies, as Coach said in the opening video of the show, rookies no more. These ain't no little kids no more. They out here contribute, and that is a good sign. It always is. Young budding talent that's on the cheap is how you build teams, bro. It's the lifeblood of a good team. And you keep some of the cornerstone guys, you bring in a missing piece free agent, you build around dudes you draft, and you have yourself something. That's the game, baby. That's the game. So here's Quinn Ewers at the podium post game, talking about his, I got a couple of clips here for you guys. Just listen in.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps. Experience is always going to help in the quarterback position. I felt comfortable with the guys. They had confidence in me. I felt very well prepared, and it's fun being back out on the field.
Talking about from his first week to his second week, answering a question about what it's like now that you're in your second. Building incremental building blocks of a young man's career like this, and he talks in a much more candid way than we would hear too about a little bit more obscure questions. Here's what he had to say about what the Bucs were showing to him on that big play to Theo Weiss and how he knew to take it. What he did. Listen in.
If I recall correctly, I think they were trying to show cover 0, and then they rolled out of it into cover 2. So I knew the corner was going to have his eyes on me, and then just had to look at Darren and throw right over top of the corner. And Theo ended up making a great play on it.
Recognizing coverages, dissecting the defense, and making plays. I mean, that's Todd Bowles' defense. That's Todd Bowles' defense. They trying to go out there. That was a game they needed to win. Their season's over now, baby. Well, actually, not so much because the Panthers lost, but pretty much. They went in from Tampa. I mean, shit, dude, it's a fucking 4-hour drive from Miami. That's a damn near home game. They weren't on the bus long enough to freaking put the luggage. Everybody had just held their luggage in the team plane. They don't even worry about putting it underneath. Just hold it. We're going to be there in 20 minutes. This is damn near a home game. Ain't nobody had to stay, go to road. Everybody slept in their own beds the night before. They got up early and flew. Big whoop. Big whoop. They needed that game. They needed it. And they looked at the Dolphins with a rookie, 7th-round rookie, playing a bunch of other young fellers. Young fellers. They should have beat these Dolphins. But they were never in it. The score 17-20 didn't tell the tale. That last fucking minute and 30-second touchdown drive was a Vegas special, baby. That was a Vegas special, if I ever seen one. Some junk time bullshit ass drive. Hit the like button. Here's what Quinn Ewers had to say, before the game about, message to the team.
We're playing for each other at the end of the day, and we have a lot of pride. And I told these guys today we got to play for something bigger than ourselves because you end up playing better. Whenever I told them to think back on their why. I mean, even including myself to get fired up and ready to go because obviously, like you said, we're not playing for playoffs.
Think back for your whys, boys. Think back for the whys. And that's kind of how I was riding it. Like, I mean, look, as a fan and a Dolphins fan and not loyal to anyone on the jersey, tank, fine. Get somebody, go get them. Dolphins are too far away to tank, so why tank? And we have a quarterback. We know we're looking for another one. You're not in a position to take the one Mendoza that's probably the guy, and you're probably not going to get the second guy. And the rest of them, I mean, shit, you might as well get them in the second round or beyond. Like, what are we tanked already, bitches. It didn't fucking work. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but we tanked a couple years back. Wasn't even that long ago. Fuck. Shit didn't work. I don't know if you know always the answer. I mean, damn, look at the Titans. They got Cam Ward. They tanked. They got a number one dude. I think he's an incredible player. They might never get it right for him. By the time they get it right, he'll be getting paid and they'll be fucked. That's how it happens, too. That's how it happens. You want to say tanking works? Go look at the Browns. Fuck, their whole life's a tank. Anyhow, my point is that might not be the answer. And if you got a guy and you need to get answers on, that's give me what I got. Don't tell me what you're gonna do. Show me what you already done. And when I've already got this quarterback, I don't got to think about somebody I ain't got. Let's try to figure this out with what we got and see. So knowing the whys, as Quinn Ewers said, I mean the guys could have laid down. They didn't. They did not. They showed up. Hit the like button. Here's Quinn Ewers. Is this the one I just played? Oh no, here we go. Listen in.
I think it comes with the position. I mean, no matter who's starting at the quarterback position, it's important that you tell your teammates how you feel and how you want them to play. Whether, it's my second start or if, God willing, I'm playing 4 or 5 years from now. It's always going to be the same message. And you got to find out what makes these guys tick and what makes these guys go. But it comes with the shoes. Thanks.
Damn. Talking about you got to be the leader. You're the quarterback. Got to be the leader. If you're the quarterback and you're not even trying to lead, or you start saying things, guys lead in different ways. Some guys lead like that. Fuck all that bullshit. Be the damn leader. You know what? You know who leads? The leader. That's who. And if it ain't the quarterback, you got leadership issues on your team. I get it. There's those teams every now and again where they've got, superstar leadership guys like the Ravens. I got it. Fine. Where's that fucking guy on the team right now? Oh, we ain't got that dude. You go, Jordan Brooks. I love Jordan Brooks. I don't think Jordan Brooks is scaring everybody enough in the damn locker room to be the defensive leader of the whole fucking football team. It's just the truth. And that's no shade on Jordan Brooks. Motherfuckers putting the leadership on the field. The leader is look at someone in their eyes and telling them what they need to hear. A lot of times what they don't want to hear. It's hard. It's hard being honest. It's hard being honest with yourself and to others, especially when they're friends, especially when you like them. And if guys are around, doing things that are opposing to what you're preaching at the leadership position, you got to call these motherfuckers out. You got to stand up. But you can't call somebody out while you ain't been leading this whole time. Oh, I see this is the point when the leadership council's supposed to get. Fuck all that. If you let it get to a point where you got to get publicly on a mic and say guys ain't showing up to fucking team only meeting bullshit practices, that's some backhanded pansy shit, really. And it was certain, because not only did Tua come out and say that shit, but then everybody's like, what the fuck this motherfucker talking about? Then he had to come back and walk it back. Oh. I meant about Tyreek at the end of 2024. Bitch, who the fuck talking about 2024? We almost halfway through this season. You talking about old shit? Ain't that about a fucking bitch? Talking about old shit like a scorned lover. Fuck out of here. Why don't you tell me how Brian Flores got your DMs one time, yo? Saying like this is at the lower. Quinn Ewers had some nice compliments. Talk about Greg Dolce or Dolce.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's very reliable. We have a great tight end room, and it's always nice to have good, big-bodied tight ends with sure hands like him. And man, he did a great job of winning on that. We called it a spin route. Did a great job of crossing his guy's face, and then I knew if I put it in a spot that he was going to be able to go grab it. And it's fun when plays work out that way. Yeah, no, I mean, he's
Talking about that touchdown. I mean, and if you guys, if you haven't seen it in the all 22 from where he's standing, he just starts breaking on it, and there's double coverage. One guy coming up from top to follow, and the other guy underneath that gets his hips flipped. So he's seen that he was getting ready to break on his route, and the underneath linebacker, I think it was going to have to turn his back to look on the other side. And so that's when Ewers spun it and put it all the way out in front where no one could get it other than Greg to reach out and snatch it. It was a great throw and play. Great throw, even better catch, I think, because you got to kind of reach out and snatch it and look through a lot of things. So it was really good. Quinn Ewers, the leader, also gave his flowers to the defense.
Yeah, I mean, they helped us out a ton with turnovers, and it's the stat that is directly correlated to the wins and losses is the turnover margin. And we did a great job of taking care of the ball tonight, and they did a great job of getting after it. Big props to the defense for sure.
I mean, defense played hella well. They really did. Looked like it was going to be in for a rough time after that first Tampa drive. And then the second one was moving, and the defense just started rolling. And a lot of plays. And the offense, again, they played well. A lot of I forget what it was in the first half, but they had like 200 yards of offense after their first drive. They went 3 and out, negative yards, and then like responded with touchdowns and points and everything. It was the Dolphins controlled that game. That was nice. It was nice to see. Hit the like button, everybody. Let's continue on with this. So, with Ewers potentially being the future, question remains: is Tua cooked in Miami? I think it's a rhetorical question at this point. Of course he's cooked. Tua Tagovailoa very well will never don a Miami Dolphins uniform ever again. Just won't. Now, Dolphins gonna cut him post-June, eat $67 million. Best to pull the Band-Aid off. Best than eating $100 million over 2 years or whatever. Do they go and ask for him to get back at the table? I don't know. But is Tua done in Miami? Would they be foolhardy enough to keep him on the roster? Clipboard Tua. I don't think that would be smart. I think Tua is a snake. I think he's malicious. I think he's like a mean girl, like the Mean Girls. I think he would poison the locker room and create rifts and alliances. He'd turn it into fucking Survivor Island or some shit. That's how Tua moves. He moves with that, he's catty like that. Because he's certainly not get up in your face and call it out and stick his chin up and say, "What, bitch?" That ain't how he moves. So we got to move kind of like if Tua was going to kill you, he wouldn't come at you with a weapon of some sort. He would he would poison you like a bitch. That's how he would do it. Like, that's who this guy is personally. That's what I think. That's what I know from since been calling with this game and all my peoples I know in South Florida and people I know in and out and around the building. That's how he moved throughout the Flores thing. So don't think he won't move like that or hasn't. That's how he's been moving. Every year, who are we throwing under the bus to protect Tua? And he is fucking front and center. So is Tua cooked in Miami? Is he? Well, let's listen to Mike McDaniel, what he had to say today. Just reaffirming some stuff in it. And again, these are shots at Tua. I don't care what anybody says. Listen in.
Because it's a different level of obligation when you have possession of the ball and you're entrusted with it, particularly on a team that where our plus minus is gigantically skewed in favor of us in our wins and the opposite in our losses. So that I think he has a natural way of playing the position where he understands ripping what he sees is how he got the opportunity in the first place. Easy.
Let me help answer that for Mike McDaniel, because I speak Mike McDaniel at this point, and he's speaking a lot more clear. He isn't and umming as much. He kind of anyhow. What he's saying there is the quarterback recognizes what the defense is doing for the team, and he's responding. He's responding with defense gave me football back. I need to make defense feel good about give football back. If you're on defense and I get the ball back for you and you didn't take it and score and put us up in a way, I'm like, I can't wait to put the nail in these boys. That's what football is. And just like they get an interception on us and, or they get a turnover, so don't worry, we're going to get it back for you, baby. That's how the team works. But if you keep throwing interceptions, Tua, the defense you can only go back to the well so many times before it go dry, baby. You can only go back so many times before Tua puts it into a dry hole. Pause. Fuck out of here, Tua. Dry hole Tua is how I call it. Damn. Fuck out of here. Mike McDaniel had a little more to say.
Easier said than done, but yeah, typically you see rookie quarterbacks be a lot later to things, and just because the moment is significant. But I think that's one of the reasons that guys he's a galvanizer and guys are drawn to him, is because he is very calm, cool, and collected in the orchestration of the quarterback position, from play call to execution of play.
Calm, cool, and collective. Calm, cool, and collective. Well, I've made my assessment. Because it's time, Dolphin fans. And I want everybody to hit the like button. Because QAnon is gone. And QAnon is on. Let's go, baby. QAnon back. I know the conspiracy theories are rolling in and rolling through the heads. But QAnon is gone. And QAnon is here. And now it's time for Quinnanon QAnon. We've already got the fucking hashtags already in there. Dolphin fan, we could take this over, baby. QAnon. It's already there. Hashtag TFTG coining QAnon. It's done. QAnon is on. QAnon is gone. That's what it is. Winning. That's right, Cap. That's right, Cap for life. I'm in here for real. I mean, listen, I'm not going to, put the cart before the horse like some Tua sexual, but I will applaud at least in the very minimum that QAnon has completely taken QAnon off the board. Taking them off the board. And if Quinn don't play but one more game for the Dolphins ever, he'll forever live in my heart as the guy, the QAnon got QAnon, gone and gone. I'm trying, baby. I'm rebranding. We rebranding around here. QAnon. TuAnon. Samana. Shamanana. Hit the like button. Couple more things to get through here, guys. Hit the like button. Gonna kind of pivot here. I think Tua's gone, right? Tua, up out of here. Bye. Adios, muchacho. Thank God. Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you. Fuck out of here. TuAnon gone. QAnon is on. But let me ask y'all this. What the hell's going on with Waddle? What is the deal with Jalen Waddle? We getting people up out of here. Can we talk about Jalen Waddle for just a minute? We've been going for almost an hour. I think we got a little bit of extra time. I got a couple more things to talk about, but I need to talk about this. People killed Color 2 years ago when he was banging the table saying it's time to trade Waddle. I even was like, Color. He's like, no, bro, I don't want to pay this guy. And in the year paying him, he's going to suck. And, I see the things. He can't catch with his hand. Color had so much pushback on why Jalen Waddle wasn't going to work out. I know. Why? And I got to be honest. I was wrong. I wanted the Dolphins to select Waddle. I was wrong about Waddle as much as I was wrong about Jalen Phillips, more so about Jalen Phillips, to be honest, because I was a Jalen Phillips supporter. Waddle and Jalen Phillips are cut from the same cloth. These boys soft. They soft. Soft. He's soft. I've never seen somebody in my life that on a routine tackle doesn't get up. God forbid, you're inside 2 minutes with no timeouts and need to run down the fucking field in quick manner. If God forbid you throw to Waddle on like a 2-yard pass, he's laying on the ground, hurt, can't even spike the ball. He's a fucking bum, dude. What happened to this guy? What happened to him? Is he hurt? Is Jalen Waddle playing hurt right now? Is that what they're going to tell me? They're going, he's been dealing with some ribs and a back. He got a back, his rib, his neck, his back, down to his crack. I mean, what are we talking about here, dude? Like, fucking, what happened to Waddle? Like, this kid, he's through traffic, boo, 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 boo. I mean, he was never could catch the ball. And he don't want, God forbid, he catch a football out like this and got hit. He'd break like his name was Devontae fucking Parker. He'd snap in half. At least Devontae Parker made sense with some of his injuries, except for the lower leg ones. Like, it was like, dude. And we know Devontae Parker was psychologically just not built for it. But when Devontae got injured and I seen it, made sense. He's like this. He's like reaching out as hard as he can. And that's where he's all his rib, everything's separating and they're hitting him. Like that. Waddle's like this routine throw down, and he's gotta believe 10. What the fuck, dude? Is he hurt? If he's hurt, get him up out of here. We didn't need him. I don't need him. I don't need that. I don't want it. I don't need it. I would give Waddle away. Not free, but I ain't got no use for a Waddle. And on a team looking to learn more about a quarterback in a year that, unless you catch lightning in a bottle and this band of misfits is going to run away with the division somehow and off the back of Quinn Ewers lightning every man, which would be great. But I promise you this ain't going to be because fucking Waddle helping him. I think Waddle's fucking feelings be hurt because his boy Tua, he don't know how to catch a pass from somebody not throwing left-handed. That's what it is. He can't catch a pass. He'd been catching left-handed passes for 6+ years, since college. Is this Tua's fault? I keep hearing this argument about Waddle. Like, Waddle's numbers and what you think or what he could have been is a skewed number because you know what you have while he's had a quarterback like Tua Tagovailoa. And you also know that he was never the number one target the last couple of years because Tyreek Hill was here. So for now, Tyreek Hill been gone the last couple months. I ain't seen Waddle do fucking nothing. But my point is that I hope a lot of people believe that. I'm selling that shit. Hell yeah. No. Waddle is an incredible athlete. He's worth fucking 2 first-rounders. I mean, he controlled a lot of money. He would have been everything if Tua wasn't here. And Tyreek Hill demanded, he was such a bad teammate. He never wanted Waddle to get any of his catches. He would always fight with Tua about it. And I'll make it whatever lie you want, but get his ass up out of here. Get him up out of here. One of these, and Waddle to me, the trade to make is after the draft. You'll get a haul. One of these teams that draft a fucking quarterback or have a second-year guy, pay an arm and a leg for him. Arm and a leg. You'd be getting a first, a third, a fifth, and a following year's second. You'd be getting a fucking dumbass. I'll trade him to the Jets right now for 2 firsts. Get him up out of here. Kid me? Fucking Jets. What are Jets going to do? Fuck his career up? Can't fuck his career up. He's going to do that on his own. I don't think Waddle can play in cold game weathers either. I don't think Waddle can play in cold weather games. I don't think Waddle is built like that. I don't think Waddle wanted like that. I don't think he got the competitor. I think he had the competitor in him. That's the sad part. I think those first 3 years, he had some of that juice in him. I think he did. But I always thought maybe he ain't had enough. And I always knew that he had some propensity to be, like, dude, are you injured or are you hurt? Because if you wincing and boo-hooing, fucking sit on the pine, bro. I got some time. I'm sick of everybody living off draft status and fucking college fucking rankings and bullshit. Tired of it. I'm tired of it. Tired of it. Get him up out of here. I would say what can Ewers do with him, but fuck, what did Waddle catch? 1 pass on 2 targets? That first catch he had in the first half, he got he didn't even get dropped, slammed, fucking hooked. Ed Reed would put Waddle's career in the fucking dumpster. Could you imagine Brian Dawkins on Waddle? Those motherfuckers ate on bitches like that, bro. They ate on him. They're like, this motherfucker, he ain't built like that. I'm going to fuck him up. I'm gonna make him humble. I'm going to let him know that there is something different between all this possession grabbing bullshit. You ain't going to get with that. I see people in chat. Niners have cut Ayuk. I don't know. Who gives a shit? Ayuk is fucking poor man's Christian Kirk, who sucks too. I never liked Ayuk. I always thought he was fucking wishy-washy. They looked at Ayuk and thought he was some shit like he was T. Higgins. That motherfucker ain't no T. Higgins. Fuck out of here. So I take that. Listen, Theo, I tell you what. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Quinn Ewers don't give a shit about your little speedy fucking slot wide receivers all over the field. That motherfucker looking for targets downfield. Downfield. So I don't see how Waddle. I don't think I've ever seen Waddle make a catch away from his body on the sidelines ever. I don't think I've seen it. I mean, going down the side, going down the sideline, looking and catching that bitch or catching it. Like you can't do it. You gotta jump. Motherfucker goes in the middle of the field, jumps. Like, bitch, stop jumping. You can't run away if you jumping in the air. Anywho, hit the like button. So, another little topic. Champ Kelly getting love from the players. I don't know if you guys seen this, but this is Champ Kelly here in the gray suit next to the orange flag. Watch his players after a victory at home. Quinn Ewers coming over to him. Big embrace, big hug, giving him the love. Sack Sealer, as we love to call him, and Bradley Chubb, who had the game. There goes the center Meyer too. Andrew Meyer did a hell of a job. With that in there. And so, look. Champ Kelly is probably going to be our general manager next year. And for right, for wrong, for better or for worse, that's what it's going to be. Now, pros and cons. Champ Kelly. Cons. He's just the next line of succession, another guy in the cog in the wheel, another collective, right? But it'll be his decisions to make for the most part. Hey, Ms. Relentless, hit the like button. Brad Boss, what's going on, buddy? Take a little trip with me. Jets Gang, Raf, B McD. I've been seeing y'all in here. Sorry, I've been shouting y'all out. Hit the like button. Champ Kelly, I would say 90% chance he's our GM next year. Because you got to ask yourself, what GM is coming here, right? You're more likely than not, Mike McDaniel's keeping his job. It would shock me if Mike McDaniel loses his job. I would be shocked at this point. There was teetering, but really home win. Ewers are going to come back. If you're a general manager, your coach isn't going anywhere. You're not getting a draft pick with a quarterback. It's really in a year that there's influx. It's really not the ideal position unless you're going to get some guy who is limited to none experience, in which case Champ Kelly is probably just as experienced as any other candidate you're going to get in here. Right? So that's pretty much the pool that you're looking at. Don't get me wrong. There's only 32 of these jobs. People would love it, but people aren't stupid either. You go in, you're general manager, you come in for 1 year, Dolphins don't go to the playoffs, they end up fucking firing everybody, you too. Or you're on a short leash, or you don't want to join this Dolphins team because you don't want to be a fucking part of the collective anyhow. All cons. Pros. Champ Kelly's going to be in here. They know him. They love him. He's seen what not to do. I mean, outside of the first round draft picks and, handling of some contracts, Chris Greer picked talent and made trades and did things that were better than average. A lot of whiffs on that first round, though. A lot of misuse of first round players and picks, trading them, stuff like that, too. Say what you want, but the Bradley Chubb trade never panned out. I know how Bradley Chubb, everybody likes him. He does good. He had that 1 year where he got injured at the end of the year where it looks like, fuck, he was really cooking. And then, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he still ain't worth it, but the money and the picks, not worth it. Didn't buy us any more wins. They're valuable, dude. Those are fucking, that shit's like fucking rare earth metals and shit, bro. We need that. Those first round picks got to be used wisely. Now, also, Champ Kelly coming in, collective style. Yeah, he'll be the new general manager. But I would say at the table, Champ Kelly, Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel going to be calling. He going to be running this show. And I got to be honest. Took the long route, but got what Flores never did. And that's the guy in charge of it all. Champ Kelly's not going to be able to carry more water in the organization right now than Mike McDaniel is. Now, that's not a bad thing if the Dolphins seem competent, whether Ewers works out or not. But moves are being made, business is moving along. And yeah, that didn't really work out with Ewers, but they're going to have a top draft pick, and they like what they've seen out of Mike McDaniel, and they're maneuvering some money and yada, yada, yada. And they're sitting there with, top 5 draft pick, top 10 draft pick, and some capital to go up and get a quarterback, like a few of the quarterbacks they see, and you want Mike McDaniel to be it. And, you can kind of have this progression growth of what hopefully would be the Dolphins chapter 2.0 with Mike McDaniel. Actually picking a top quarterback, actually, having an offense that's been here, having cornerstones to teach the new young guys, having some form of progression and evolution to the offense and the football team. Some continuity, if you will. That could be a good thing. Could be. Could also be a good thing if Ewers does work out and they find themselves, last week or two of the season with 9 wins. They might want to keep this puppy rolling. Could work out in all facets. It could completely shit the bed. And this is a pro as well. Shitting the bed so bad that during the season, Mike McDaniel is fired. Quinn Ewers pulled at quarterback or goes down. And Champ Kelly looks like, a guy who's just there. In which case, we would roll into 2027 with a top draft pick, needing a coach, needing a GM. In which case, if that's what you're hiring, well, now the pool is extremely open. You've got a team who needs a GM, who needs a coach, who has money and top draft picks. That's something people will want to come to Miami for. General managers, coaches, OGs, all that shit. Because they see, hey, it's a blank slate. They need me. I can finally get an opportunity to hire my coaching staff and make my picks and work with the general manager that I know. You can kind of reinstall a whole new power structure, in which case, fine. I'm willing to accept that outcome for the 2020 season at the end of the 2026 season. If we're talking clean slate and rebuilding to somewhere else, a la Titans. Yeah, I get it. It's on shaky ground when you do all this stuff, a lot of moving parts. But sometimes you find yourself skyrocketing to somewhere else. Dan Quinn with the Commanders. Jaden Daniels. Flippity McFlippenstein. So, things to consider on the outcome when we're talking about Champ Kelly and the players liking him. And what does that mean for the Miami Dolphins' future? In other news, Chris Greer getting some off-season looks. So this is being reported upon But Channel 10, locally here in Miami, that the Browns have met with Chris Greer about adding him as a senior advisor on the payroll, which is the natural progression of a lot of players in the NFL. You go to the Dolphins, you're drafted by the Dolphins, you end your career in Cleveland until you either fade off in the sunset or end up on TMZ. That's what happens. Say what you want, but you don't play ball with us financially. We want to move in a different direction and da 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 da. We send your ass over to Cleveland, and they let you up out of here. So yeah, Christopher Aloysius Greer III, as Nene affectionately likes to say, is getting some off-season looks. And the Browns head the list. But chances are he's going to end up somewhere. He's going to end up somewhere. Miami Kid says if Champ Kelly had anything to do with it, he did not. This is his first year with the Dolphins. He was last with the Raiders. Came on February 2nd, 2022. Kelly was named the assistant general manager with the Raiders on November 1st. 2023, Kelly was named the Raiders interim general manager on the firing of general manager Dave Ziegler and kept the title until Tom Telesco or whatever was hired in 2024. And then on February 2025, they mutually parted ways, in which he came to the Dolphins as a senior personnel executive, and he worked his way into the general management interim coach for the second time in his career, which puts him at the top of the list with experience in dealing with this type of situation and all this other stuff to maybe get his shot. Senior advisory roles. And speaking of getting their shot, Brian Flores is garnering interest this year, and I think this is the year he ends up getting probably signed as a head coach somewhere. And I'm looking at teams like, I don't know, who's really open right now. Arizona's probably gonna be searching. I mean, who knows? Do the Browns end up pivoting? I think he would do very well in the Browns in that division, up there with the type of football they're going to need. Raiders got that Tom Brady connection, big Nick. So I think this is the year that you're going to see Brian Flores not just go through the cycle, but actually get a job. Arizona Cardinals, maybe. I think he's getting a head coaching job this year because that defense is still alive. I mean, they took the wins right out of the sails of their division opponent. They carried the JJ McCarthy led fucking Vikings until in some games they didn't really they got worked, but it's not like they Giants maybe Titans, Giants. I could see a lot of these teams really reaching out and wondering about some just some interesting stuff coming up. Last game of the year, this weekend coming up. A lot of things to be decided. And for the final topic, and it's not a Dolphins related topic, but The Colts are in shambles, bro. The Colts are in shambles. I mean, when you think about the negative stuff coming out of the Colts right now, it's crazy. I mean, a team that went 7-1 to then not get into the playoffs is wild. Wild. I mean, Rivers comes out in his post game after the loss to the Jags that officially eliminated them. Little teary eyed, saying it's probably his last game ever. They brought in that other rookie or young guy to throw for him on the final play of the game. It was fucking weird. I mean, they they're not going to be picking anywhere for a quarter. AR-15's getting cut, right? Like, and what happens to him? Here's a phenom athlete that can't stay healthy and sucks at playing quarterback, but has arm strength that you would murder people for. Do the Dolphins? Listen, AR-15 sitting out there. I say bring him over here to Miami, turn him into the next Terrell Pryor. Fuck it. Do they re-sign Daniel Jones in Indy? I mean, bro, he is. They paid him $14 million for this year of production, and he was without him. They're not. But I personally think Daniel Jones got everybody fooled. I think Daniel Jones, quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, has everyone fooled. And even more so since he's been gone, how they've handled it, their team afterwards with the stability at the quarterback position. Stability. Can you believe the Colts found stability with Daniel motherfucking Jones? They're going to pay him the bag, bro. I think that's what they'll do. They'll pay him the bag, and they're gonna regret it. They're gonna regret it way more than the Giants initially regretted it. I think they're going to regret it. Daniel Jones going to regress to the meme. He had an outer body experience for a season. Last time he played halfway that decent was the year they went to the playoffs with Dayball. I don't believe in him. And, there's also other things going on. The fans are now, from what was the cute story and, NBC and their 30 for 30 bullshit and everything, talking about the owner, females on the sidelines. They were, she's front and center with her fucking earphones on and shit like that. Now the fans are like, this is fucking wearing thin. This bitch out here fucking micromanaging everything. Even though everyone told me she doesn't micromanage everything, now it's just fans are sick of her. They're tired of seeing her on there. She's too involved with the team activities and decisions. She blah, 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 blah. I mean, bro. And listen, say what you want. I get it. I don't give a shit what happens to the Colts, but it's nice to look at other people burning when, you're kind of burning too. So I'd rather look at them, watch the bad mistakes they make, because they're going to pay. They end up giving his ass $180 million. This motherfucking Daniel Jones going to walk away from the NFL with like $300 million, dude. It's crazy. This guy is incredible. Incredible. What a master cuck. So funny. I just was on the timeline. I'm like, dang, dude. Colts fans jumping. Old Charlie Ursay and shit. She's a distraction. She's too involved. Little bit of whispers coming up out of the building. I don't know. I do know this. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. And QAnon gone. QAnon on. That's what I know. QAnon is gone and QAnon is on. That's what it is. And we're going to see everything. We're going to get a lot of questions answered. Patriots got everything to play for. Home, cold weather. Quinn Ewers, tough game. Rival. Dolphins get to play spoiler once more against the Patriots. Can Quinn for the win? QAnon Quinn Ewers end the Dolphin season on a high note. We're going to find out. Make sure to tune in Wednesday, guys, because I'm doing a little bit of, pre-New Year's Eve show talking about the Canes. Canes play, Ohio. We're going to get into that. Thank everybody for making it. Hit the like button on your way out, and we'll see y'all next time. Fins up.